Gravitas, powered by Skoda, made of smart imagination.
What's life like under Taliban rule? Let me show you some pictures. These came overnight from Khost in Afghanistan, and this is not a real funeral. This is the Taliban celebrating America's departure with fake coffins. They're draped with American, French, British and NATO flags. The humiliation of the West does not end there. Look at this now, the Taliban parading with their loot. What they took from Americans and Afghans, that's on display. One such parade happened in Kandahar today. The Taliban showed off American military vehicles. They were armed with heavy weapons and machine guns. At least one Black Hawk helicopter was seen flying over Kandahar. These are America's gifts to a terrorist group: legitimacy, a 2.0 makeover, and world-class weapons. What did they give the people of Afghanistan? No choice, more misery. Our correspondent Anas Malik went out to survey the streets of Kabul today. Thousands are waiting outside banks, and this is not an exaggeration. Look at these images. All of these people struggling to get their own money out.
17 days of the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan, the banks are pretty much dysfunctional. Thousands line up every morning outside this prominent private bank of Afghanistan in a bid to collect cash. They complain that for the week, they're only allowed to take about $200 or 20,000 Afghanis out. Hundreds and hundreds of people have been waiting in order to get money to run their daily affairs.
What about the Kabul airport? No crowds there. No roar of engines. The Taliban have taken charge, you see. Their special force, the Badri 313, is on guard. They had a victory parade at the airport too, and an inspection of the machines the Americans left behind. There were more than 70 military aircraft at the Kabul airport. The Americans believe they've left them unusable. Smashed windows, damaged equipment, deflated tires. They're most likely just worthless heaps of metal now. And if this wasn't dramatic enough, we have a Talib riding a tricycle through the mess. These pictures sum up Afghanistan, a glorious mess with armed men riding around. Is nobody going to stand up to them? Some Afghans are. They're in Panjshir, keeping the resistance alive. The Taliban launched a siege on the province. The resistance forces pushed them back. The Taliban tried to talk to them, but the negotiations failed. So the Taliban have decided to fight again. They've surrounded the valley. Both sides are gearing up for action. The resistant forces have built up their own armory. This video, the one that you see, emerged last month. It shows the military equipment they have. At least 3 helicopters and a dozen military vehicles. How many fighters? Anywhere between 7 and 10,000. Is this enough to thwart a Taliban attack? In a country where psychological victories lead to takeovers, anything is possible. The Taliban are confident they're here to stay. They're looking at forming a government, and their role model is an unlikely one: Shia Iran. The Taliban want to install an Islamic theocracy, where one man called the Supreme Leader exercises complete control over the country. There'll be elections, they say, but religious leaders will have the last word. Like in Iran, it's Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the Supreme Leader of Iran. Who will be the Supreme Leader of Afghanistan? This man, perhaps. Hibatullah Akhundzada, the Taliban chief, who's now said to be in Kandahar. Why is he hiding? The Taliban fear that he could be attacked. So he remains in the shadows, reportedly with Pakistani security. This is the only picture of him on the internet. What is he doing there? He's deciding the shape of the government. What would the Islamic Emirates power structure look like? There'll be Akhundzada on the top, probably presiding over a supreme council that runs the country. So you could say that Akhundzada will be Afghanistan's Khamenei. He will head a Supreme Council with anywhere between 11 and 72 members. Plus, there'll be a governing council to look after the day-to-day functioning of the country. This will be headed by a Prime Minister who will have his Council of Ministers. There's still no clarity on how many people will be finally accommodated, but there are clear indications as to who will take the top jobs. Starting with the Prime Minister. This man, and it will be a man, will be the second most powerful one in Afghanistan, the Prime Minister of the country. There are two contenders for the post, Mullah Baradar, the co-founder of the Taliban, also its international face now, and Mullah Yaqub, the son of Mullah Omar, the original founder of the Taliban. Then we have Mullah Hakim, a former associate of Mullah Omar. He could be the Chief Justice, leading the judiciary. Do you know what's common among all these names? All of them are terrorists. None has experience in running a government. But then again, if you're the Taliban, do qualifications even matter? It's loyalty that counts. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.
Gravitas, powered by Skoda, made of smart imagination.